My name is Bridget Hedinger, and my 2 words are lacking and loved. You know when things just feel off, like no matter how hard you try or what you do, there's just something missing. I felt this way a majority of my life. I had this deep sense that there was something lacking or different or just plain off about me. And for me, there was always some evidence to back up that I just wasn't good enough, that I wasn't worth knowing, or that I didn't matter all that much. See, I couldn't bank on being the prettiest or the nicest, most popular, so I tried to capitalize on what I did have, a sense of humor and very few social inhibitions. But really, I just wanted approval. I wanted validation that my existence mattered, that I was necessary. And I looked to just about anything for attention and validation. Friends, my boyfriend, grades, how many people laughed at my jokes, no matter how much of an idiot I'd made myself out to be. But no matter how hard I tried, none of those things made me feel whole. So my sophomore year of high school, I stopped trying to be good and just decided life was about how much fun I could have and how I could get the most attention, whether it would be hanging out with the cool older friends, or trying to get into the party scene, keeping my boyfriend's attention to make myself feel physically desirable. I was just seeking pleasure and worth in anything I could find, compromising many of the values I'd held dear, and I was losing touch with my Christian friends. My parents were worried about me, and I was pretty sure God didn't approve of my lifestyle either. And when my relationship ended with my boyfriend or the partying scene let me down, I would feel afraid and alone. I would pray every night, God, please don't let me die because I don't know where I'll go. I was lost, and I wanted to change because I knew something was lacking. And so that summer, after my sophomore year, I decided to go to a church camp and really figure out if I was going to go after this God thing or not. No more living on the fence. See, all my life I'd heard about Jesus, that he had died on a cross, but it wasn't until that summer that I really understood why. See, the reason I felt incomplete, like something was missing, that I wasn't good enough, is because something was missing. I wasn't good enough. See, I was created for a relationship with God. But my sin, my self-reliance, my trying to make myself something, it separated me from God. But the good news is, in the midst of all my shortcomings and shame, Jesus looked at me, having done nothing all that great, who in fact had disregarded, ignored, or just directly disobeyed him, knowing that we would be separated forever if something didn't change. He gave his life for mine. He traded places with me on the cross. He who had done everything perfectly exchanged his perfection for my failures. He took all my sin and my guilt and my shame, and he bore the full weight of it. And in exchange, he gave me his holiness, his perfection, his freedom, his acceptance. See, Jesus didn't just die on a cross to be a good example of sacrifice or to teach me how to be a good person, but the God who created the heavens and the earth by speaking them into being, who formed me in my mother's womb, he died because it was the only way that I could be saved, that I could be made right with God, who I was created for. And I know how crazy it sounds, but 2,000 years ago, a man saved my life. And he didn't stay dead. See, 3 days later, he rose from the dead, was seen by thousands. In my junior year of high school, I encountered that very real Jesus. And he changed my life, and he continues to do so. See, I realized that no matter what the world has to say about my worth, or my value, or my lacking, or my failures, what really defines me and my worth is how much someone is willing to pay for that thing. And what Jesus paid for me was his very life. I went from lacking to loved. And if you don't know this Jesus that I'm talking about, I would love to introduce you. I'm Bridget. Those are my 2 words.